All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Court of the Rings here on twitch.tv/LotraStream, youtube.com/Lord of the Rings/live, and facebook.com/Lotra. Thank you so much for being here on this lovely Friday before Labor Day in the United States. If you've got a long weekend ahead of you, hope you're enjoying it. We have got the Farmers Fair that's running through September 10th, so this is a good weekend to get that stuff. Additionally, a lot of folks do have Monday off, so hope you maybe get a chance to either be with family and friends or, family and friends in Lotro. Or just Lotro. It's all good here. All right, thank you so much for being here. I am, in case I forgot, I don't know if I introduced myself or not, I'm the community manager, Lord of the Rings Online, Cordovan, and who am I and what have I done with Cord? What do you mean? Is it because of the hair? I'm growing it out. What can I say? How's it going, everybody? Or is it because my mic wasn't muted? Oh, that's right. So actually, you know what? I am working on that. It's a resolution. It's almost like I should try to be a professional. So that's what's going on there. I actually, thanks to, I use a Stream Deck, which is like an Elgato thing. It's kind of basically like a macro button keyboard thing, and it's kind of cool. Well, they recently added this ability to do multi-actions. So you can like switch a scene, mute your mic, unmute your mic, whatever. And so I have it set to unmute whenever I go live like that. So it's one less vector from which I can fail. Yes. Sorry I'm running a little late today. I'm working on updating... Oh, here we go. Cool. I had to update my game client. My internal game client, and it wasn't... it was taking time. So that's why I'm not quite ready to log into the game world yet. I don't really have much of an agenda today, to be honest, in terms of what I'm doing. I think I might just kind of putz around the Farmers Fair and do all that sort of thing. On my free time, I've been working to get... legendary weapon for Dwinstrel on this character. I'm just about there. I just haven't, a little bit away. But rather than make you guys sit through that, since this is Farmers Fair, since I haven't had a chance to run it on this character yet, I want to get some of the stuff. So I think I'm going to be running the Farmers Fair here a little bit today. True, I'm on my own this week. On my understanding is... typical co-host Druid's Fire here is at Dragon Con. It's true, I don't actually have free time. I just did a few things. Had a few days where I have most of my work actually caught up at this point. We don't have an update coming for a little while yet, so I've got all my release notes ready. I pretty much have everything I was planning to do done. I was dying here right away. Let me heal myself up just real quick, and then I will... What's around? Yeah, you can see I'm actually kind of just got done doing some stuff. I'm at the Ice Reeve Mines here to find the Book of Heraldry. So I'm at Book 3, Chapter 6, and I just finished the prologue on Volume 2. So I've got to get working on that here in just a little bit. And I know I've just got the mini-map here. I'll switch it over in just a second. It's not his hair, it's the shavings from his dwarf. Right. You're not wrong. Any news on itemization for Update 23? Like to make it not look like copy-paste soulless stuff. Well, one, I assure you, and I assure the person who spent many hours working on it, that they would not appreciate being told that they were working on copy-paste soulless stuff, because... they weren't copy-pasting, they put their hearts into it. Nonetheless, I appreciate that perhaps you want some specific named loot in Update 23, and hopefully that's something we'll be able to get to, say, with the raid and things like that coming. But otherwise, nothing really new on itemization, other than we're still, you know, working on it. Yeah, thanks, Grolmori. So that new ring effect is called a stinger, but basically a scene transition. And I actually was able to grab it from the in-game video files. I found it, I was going through our old marketing drives from back in the Turbine days, kind of consolidating some things as part of a upcoming kind of office rearrangement we're doing. And I found the slow video rotation that they used for their like kind of in-game video transitions and things like that. And so I took that into basically Adobe Premiere, and I sped it up so that it would like zoom around a couple times real quick and then zoom out. And it's pretty cool. It worked out pretty great. So I was able to make that as a nice stinger without any actual dev time taken away from things that are frankly more important. Any news on the landscape revamps for older areas? It's something that we're continuing to work on. Thanks, dude. Yeah, it's something we're continuing to work on. It'll be ongoing. Yeah, it's true. As Ponton says on beta, a lot of stuff is still kind of placeholder. The real items aren't really written. Hello, everybody over on YouTube as well, and then everybody over on Facebook. I saw... Let me actually, real quick... You may hear a little bit of a double here when I'm doing this. I have to mute the video real quick. Facebook, I saw... Here we go. I saw another comment I wanted to get to. But it's hard on Facebook to get to all the comments, because I can only see the most recent 3 or 4. So, Tyrus, I have some questions about PvMP. With the new level release, can you guys make 120 level items too for us, for the freeps who we pay to play there, and we don't like to PvP out builds? So when you scale to 120 in as a free player, you are going to have to acquire the gear that you want to bring to PvP. We're not going to auto-grant you, say, level 120 gear. Sorry. Also, hello, Raymond and Paul and Goran, Christine, and everyone else there. When are we getting a Panda Monk class? That's some other game. I don't think it would quite fit for Lord of the Rings Online. Now, Ninja Bunnies, maybe. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. That's a good one, everyone. Yes, I'm an idiot. What can I say? I know you are. Yeah. Is the issue that the level 120 bow DPS being higher than the legendary bow being solved? I would imagine that would be something we would be looking into. Can we have cosmetics in the Etenmoors? Potentially. You know, historically, it's been the case that there's been a feeling that it wouldn't be particularly popular. You know, we have to... Let's be honest, we have to sell a certain amount of this stuff to be able to justify doing the work. And the general thinking has been perhaps that ratio wasn't quite worth the effort in the PvMP zone. But, you know, we hear from enough PvMPers that, you know, perhaps. Oh, I don't really want to go to all those places. Let me find something else to do. Oh, I remember this one last time. I was bad at this.
Don't walk off. I need to speak with you. Hello there. Might I speak with you a moment?
So many apples.
How rude.
Okay.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Search for the recipe for savory mushroom stew. Okay. I don't actually know where that recipe is. Oh, right there. Nice. Read the recipe to find the first ingredient. 1 package beef from the meat stall. All right. Handful of salt from the cooking area. Cooking area. Oh, here we go. Salt? I'll get to your questions in just a second. Stew must be made. I need a bunch of fresh carrots. Bowl full of water. Where are the vegetables? Maybe I need the water? Go in order? I need fresh carrots. I see carrots right there. Let me grab them. Fine. I don't want your carrots anyway. Your carrots suck. Okay, why do I feel like I'm missing something important here? Or are you fresh carrots? There we go. 1 large slab of bacon from the shelf in the meat stall. There we go. Then 2 large bunches of mushrooms from the mushroom tent up the hill near the 3 farthing stone. As aren't mushrooms. Was it really like up the hill, up the hill? I seem to recall failing this one last year, which is unfortunate. Behind all the stands. No, you guys are yelling out to me. Baskets of mushrooms behind the stands. Oh. So... behind, like, these stands? Behind these stands? Nope. Straight ahead. There's probably a way to turn that off, but whatever. Oh, is that it? No. Those are mushrooms. Alright, so he's up the hill, kind of up this way, huh? Up the hill, over the street, face north and go up the slope. Oh, okay. No. Relax, I'll get to your questions. There's lots of time for this stuff. Go south when standing by the main festival area. There'll be a big tent with mushrooms there. Okay. Okay, yeah, so we're back here. But I'm not seeing any mushrooms. Those are onions. Baskets. I'm not seeing any mushrooms, though. Is that the mushrooms you're talking about? Or do you really mean south-south? Oh, this one. Oh, okay. Awesome. There we go. Thank you so much, folks. Sorry to be so frustrating. Alright, now that I've got time, add fresh mushrooms to the stew. Use the stew pot to cook the savory mushroom stew. Where's the stew pot? There we go. Alright, I have a few minutes here. Let me just quick go through the chat there. Will the new raid just have one boss in it? We don't want to spoil many details about the new raid, but my understanding is it will have at least it'll have several parts, I think. Any news on Scroll of Empowerment being applied as a stack and not a single item? No. I understand some folks, I know folks want that to happen at some point. It's just not something that, as far as I'm aware, the team's interested in doing. What's going on with Update 23? What's going to be in the next Bull Roar build, and when can we expect it? So what's going on with Update 23 is we are in a state of doing sort of polish work on it, some additional development work on it, some balancing work on it based on, say, you know, your feedback and things like that. So we're going to be working on it, I think, a couple more weeks yet. It should be on Bull Roar sometime after Labor Day. I don't know if we're planning next week or the week after. Something like that. Oh. All right. So my guess is perhaps, I think it's the week after, and then we're planning to have Update 23 later in September. I don't know where the other two Judes are. Find Hermit and Opalessa. Oh, okay.
Might I speak with you a moment?
Oh, could be. Perhaps in the Green Dragon. Yep. So the last one is the Dancer. So in terms of to answer your question, what's going on with 23 is active development. When will it next be on Bull Roar? Let's say mid-September. And what will be in it? It'll probably be pretty close to the final final build, if not the final build. So I think I'm going to run out of time here. That's okay. It's at the methyl stage. My shift is ended. Alright, will the Mac Bull Roar client work? Not for this, not for update 23 here. Unfortunately, we have a bunch of, oh, here we go. Well, for next time, that's where she is. There's some technical stuff we're dealing with on the Mac. It's not gone for good on Bull Roar, but it is gone for now. We're going to have to do I think a thing where essentially we update some stuff, and then if you're trying to go on the Mac, you'll probably need to download a full new bullroarer from scratch. Sorry, but hey, what do you do?
It's been a foul day, it has.
Might I speak with you a moment?
Get him some things for his upset tummy. Just want an apple, maybe? No? Am I literally going?
Stay and have some tea.
It all shows up on that one table? Okay. So maybe it just, people have used it. Okay. Let me actually keep going through our chat here. I know people, they want me to answer questions, not play the game. So. Someone related to cosmetics and PvMP is saying they should be avoided due to lag. Really, the cosmetic stuff shouldn't be causing lag. It's almost always kind of client-side stuff, and so it has little to nothing to do with server-client latency. We can't do Silmarillion stuff, true. Will I read the beta notes here on stream or post them later? Sure, I can read them on stream here. I get mixed feedback when I do that. Some people feel it's like the most boring thing I could be possibly doing. And other folks are like, yeah, okay. So. Oh, crisp flavor, hearty, and a clean aftertaste. Okay. Oh, I see how this is working. Okay. Sorry. But there, as of today, there really isn't too much more to talk about for the bullroarer notes other than what you've seen. I actually am in the process at some point here of going through that stuff, and I'll get it to you soon. What? Okay, now he wants, I'm assuming, the salt. But I can't do that right now. Alright, so I need to wait for it to appear, then wait for him to say his thing, then give him the thing. Yeah, so Sammy 2002, I'm aware that there's, for the Throne of the Dread Terror, they had a specific promotional campaign that involved kind of showing off the bosses and that sort of thing. Perhaps that's something we can do in the future. But at this point, certainly, it's nothing that we could do because the raid is very slowly being worked on. It's not coming out with update 23. It'll be a point update after 23. And we wouldn't have anything to show you as of today. So, but yeah, maybe. I have passed along multiple times the desire to adjust the cooldown timer when using skills on Warden and Champion classes, particularly in champions with dual wielding. I cannot promise when that'll be fixed, but I will do the best I can to try to make that happen. What am I supposed to be doing here? Wants an accompaniment. Let's see, I thought... Okay, there we go. Groovy. Will the changes made for Update 23 on Bullroarer prevent the Mac client from working on live? No. This is a Bullroarer specific issue. I have passed along the request that metal smiths get a shield recipe as well. Oops, I missed what that was. I don't have anything to pass along regarding that. Any plans to make new elks to buy from the store? Could. You know, if there's interest, we could maybe do that. I don't know of any immediate plans to do that, but perhaps. Are we increasing the difficulty of the Update 23 Tier 2 instances? It seemed way too easy last build. Yeah, I mean, for Bullroarer in particular there, it was very much kind of an early look. So, yeah, for sure the difficulty of all that content is probably going to be tweaked. Cleanse my palate. I'm assuming a bucket of water there. Oh no. I wasn't doing very good. Now I'll do something else. I need to get LASIK. Jesus didn't wear glasses. Nice. Sorry, Erendrin, I don't know why Morgul crests only drop from Pelennor. I can't make promises that something will be fixed until I see a check-in that's past QA. So any sort of promise I might make to any kind of bug that is not actively on someone's plate being worked on and tested and checked and cleared by QA, it would be foolish for me to say, yes, I promise you we're going to do this thing. I don't know. But I would expect that would, yeah, I would think so, right? Has anyone noticed my hair is getting longer and longer? Yeah, I haven't cut it in quite some time. We'll see. So Eric is basically asking if we'd ever have a thing where all previous expansions would be included in a VIP subscription. You know, we would like to offer new sort of benefits to being a VIP. I don't really see that being one of them, but never say never. I'm sure the top-end questers will be happy to hear of increased difficulty. God, you say one thing on the top of your head. Fine, if it'll stop the controversy. Faded, I recognize that you guys are special and like to raid. You are a group of raiders, not questers. Cordovan for Guardians. Someone's trying to give me a question on Facebook, but I'm not seeing it. Yeah. I don't mean anything. I'm not casting aspersions. It's just I off the top of my head, I called them top-end questers. Was a last week's stream, and I've not heard the end of it since. So that's all. Don't take it too serious. Any ETA on Tower of Orthanc T2 Saruman Rings bug, where after the first ring phase the purple doesn't show anymore and people have to guess what order it is? I have not heard of any work being done on Tower of Orthanc. Sorry. Will milk be made available to us? What, you guys we don't have milk? Really? Yeah. For Guardians, the icon for Brutal Assault looks like the animation for Hammer Down and vice versa. Can we swap those icons? I'm going to put that in my trusty notepad of notepaddiness. Seems like something I should be able to pass along here. I would think an icon swap would be fairly easy to do. Yeah. VIP perks are being discussed or readjusted, question mark. I wouldn't commit that much to it. It's something that we periodically are like, okay, let's just kind of think about it, do some brainstorming, see what we want to do. It is something we'd like, I think, to do actually at some point here. So we'll see. Perhaps.
Hello there. Might I speak with you a moment?
Egg scramble. Yay. Alright. Gives me a chance to get some stuff. I know I speak for all people who have a cook. Please fix cook so we don't need lower tier ingredients for latest tier food. Alright, I can pass that along. Is that something particularly unique to the Cooks? Someone saying they disagree with that? What is the best method to cut out white noise from mic input without distorting your voice? Do you need an expensive mic? The more expensive the mic, the less of an issue it's going to be. This is absolutely true. But there are some things you can do. You can make sure... Where are they? Where? That sound. Alright, white egg. Oh no, another bad egg. There is an option, depending on what version of Windows you have, to do noise reduction. Now, I will warn you that in my experience, using that noise reduction tends to also lower the quality of your microphone. But if you're having a particularly difficult white noise problem, it might be preferable. So it's worth at least testing that out to see if that works. Otherwise, just make sure you don't have a fan kind of pointed at or near your microphone. I didn't win. No. But yeah, generally a better quality mic, making sure you don't have background noise or a fan going. You know, even at home, I live near a fairly busy road, so I do have a bit of an issue with traffic noise bleeding into my microphone. Typically, I just try to point it as far away as I can and, you know, speak relatively close to the mic, and that tends to help me a lot. Can we ever get a War Pig, either War Steed style or regular mount? I think that would be a challenge. Even if we did, like, say, a riding a boar kind of thing, that's not really something, at least my understanding, it's not really something that the Free Peoples did. So, maybe, but I guess I would need to defer to our lore folks there. Cooks are the only profession that requires lower tier stuff to make latest tier food, and not all of us have saved lower tier stuff, and it gets really annoying. Word. Okay. Thank you for that. That does seem a little strange. That said, War Pigs, but I don't really see it happening. CP of Landreval, is there progress fighting the gold spammers which bypassed the ignore list last weekend, or do we have to prepare for another spam fest on Sunday? Yeah, we had a meeting this week. They didn't technically, well, I don't want to get into methods and what they were doing, but that's something, at least in the short term, we're going to kind of have to play whack-a-mole with. But we are working on a longer-term solution. Additionally, we have heard feedback from the musician folks who want to be able to have more repetitive choruses than they currently can without having to be concerned about the possibility of being auto-gagged using that same anti-spam filter. And that's something we looked at, and we're going to be making an adjustment to, most likely the next time we do a game update. Any work on the OC titles? It is likely that for Update 23's raid, we will have a similar system to the OC title, but it will not be exclusionary. It'll be exclusive for the first brief time period so that the raiders who like to get that special sort of OC title will be able to get it. But it's not going to be one kin only, like it has been in the past, mostly due to the fact that it has never not caused massive years of drama in the past. And we'd rather have a system that is a challenge and exciting to people, that doesn't have negative repercussions, or at least as many of them, as the kind of archaic OC system did. So those who like that challenge of being like something to push for with the new raid, I want to be one of the top raiding kins on X server, will be able to do that. What we're not going to probably do is just say, and once someone has earned it, nobody else will ever be able to. That said, like I say, it's going to be a short period of time when it first opens. We haven't exactly decided yet. Last I heard was something like 48 to 72 hours, so we'll see. When is new content coming out? That'll be later in September. Will we see some Captain class work in Update 23? Not 23 proper, but probably for a patch, would be my guess. Need a title for a Topkin that kind of half-heartedly looks at raids at some point, maybe later. Nice. Yeah. Huron has an interesting comment on the cooks thing, that cooks are in a somewhat unique situation where they do need old ingredients, but they can generate at will in vast quantities, whereas the other professions need to go all over the world slowly gathering stuff, hence they don't tend to need the old stuff. So yeah, it may be a deliberate systems choice with the cook based on what it is that they can do that other crafting professions can't, but we'll see. What time do we got? We got about 10 minutes yet? I have time to do a little bit more. Let's see what else I can do here. What do I want to do?
Might I have a word with you?
Revenge of the Drunkards. Alright, tankard of beer. Oh, throw rotten vegetables at the fun-spoiling bounders, and don't let the bounders spot you. Okay. Oh no! I got spotted by a bounder, huh? Nosy Hobbit. Seem to remember having trouble with that one last time, too. I don't actually know what I want to do here. I'm just kind of putzing around. I am looking forward to a long weekend myself. I think it's going to be nice.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Stand on the roofs and far back, that makes sense. Article on Hobbit presents does not match the actual gifts given. So, W.H. McGill, please, if you would, it's my job to make sure that that page is as accurate as it can be. So please let me know where I'm wrong. Send me a private message, if you would, through the Lotro forums, and I'd be happy to adjust it. The goal is to... We're not hiding anything. The goal is to actually say what you can get. So if that's not accurate, please let me know where we are inaccurate, and I would be happy to adjust the page. Has there been any action toward getting a 64-bit client? The latest info we have on that really comes from Sev. Even just a couple weeks ago, he talked a little bit about how we were making progress on that. So we're making progress. I will make a note on that Edelhelm Hope token. I will need to look into that and pass along the feedback about having it scale up to 120. Yeah, I will double check. I'll follow up again on that latency with champion skills. I've seen the forum threads. I've seen, certainly I get asked about it a lot on this stream. I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but I'll see if I can't make it a high priority. Make no promises, though. Champs with shields would be great. Cool. No, I don't really ever see us doing a Kickstarter. It's not how we work. Can we have more options for our avatars, appearance, etc., clothing, and features, etc. soon? We have a pretty robust... Oh, shoot, and I just missed my chance. Because I was putzing around with y'all instead of paying attention to the NPC. Fine.
Might I speak with you a moment?
The time that is left, I will do this. It's all your fault. It is. It's all your fault. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. New designs for shields and staves. I have heard that we might be doing some shield work here. Like colored hair, new outfits for ladies, etc., and for men. I don't know about the colored hair part. I mean, it would be, you know, we don't have, we have to be kind of careful what we can do within our license there, but pretty robust hair colors and stuff, don't we? But sure. You guys make fun of my hair so much, but that's okay. Whatever. You're not a community manager unless you could put up with a bunch of people making fun of you. That's fine. When are we going to reintroduce mithril coin sending? We are not. Unites. At this point, it is highly unlikely that we'll be returning mithril coin sending. It has had a dramatic difference on our anti-fraud and anti-spam activity. So we'll see. But it's certainly not something that's in our short-term or medium-term future at this point. It just has had too positive of a benefit to turn it off. When I have my mic on the desk, don't thump the desk. Okay. I won't. You're right. So for too much pepper, is that milk then? Must be milk. There we go. Will there ever be a cloak with a quiver attached cosmetic added? So right now the way it tends to be is it's either cloak or quiver due to sort of the way it works. I'm not sure how we would... It would be a challenge, I think, to be able to display both a quiver and a cloak through that channel in a way that isn't really just kind of clip-tastic. But, maybe. I assume by the bread too dry, he wants butter. Estelali, it is, you know, the idea of having playable female dwarves is surprisingly one of the most controversial subjects in Lord of the Rings Online history. It's been something that we've thought about. You know, we've considered formally sort of giving people a cosmetic choice like that, despite the lore as it stands. But if that ever happens, we'll make half the people happy and half the people really unhappy. So I don't think it's a winnable position either way. So, but maybe it could happen. Oh, great, Hilarion, and nice to see you playing in Ultra settings. I agree. It's very nice. Hoppa Joel, I don't want to get into the specifics of your question due to the unintended consequences it could cause, but what you're talking about is specifically why we had to reintroduce the anti-spam activity that we did to say and that sort of thing. All right. No, Norwin, I have not heard of any plans to swap out the block, parry, and evade stats on light Loremaster gear for more appropriate stats. Sorry. Will we ever make a bare-chested cosmetic for men so they can show off their six-packs? Perhaps. We've got it in the other game, so it could well happen. Alright, so let me see if there's any kind of question that I can answer. I would love to see individually organizable bags, Kanjal, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. I think it would really be a lot of technical work for... It would be neat, but I'm not sure how significant a benefit that would be. Alright. Thank you very much for watching Court of the Rings. I'm hoping you have a great holiday weekend if you're in the United States celebrating Labor Day. If you're not, I hope you have a good weekend nonetheless. Hope you are enjoying the Farmers Fair that goes through 10th. It's a week ago or a week from now on Sunday, through the 9th, being shut off on the 10th. There we go. Through September 9th on the Farmers Fair. And stay tuned for more information about, say, our next Bull Roar and things like that. I would quick note that we do have double bonus points going on for Lord of the Rings Online. So if you want to stock up on some Lotro points, maybe ahead of Update 23 or whatever, now might be a time to consider it. We do have double bonus points through the Lotro store in-game. Have fun, everyone. Have a great weekend. I will see you next week. Up shortly will, I believe, be Corey Olsen. Druid's Fire will not be on today as she's out of the area, and you can find our full schedule over on twitch.tv/LotroStream. Have a great afternoon, everyone. See ya.